Yo, what is up guys? It has been a minute since I've worked on the Galant, and that's because I've been having so much fun on my new motorcycle.
Oh my god!
But that being said, we're gonna work on it today. Now, a while ago, I gave the headlights on the Galant a complete overhaul. I retrofitted a set of HID projectors into the headlights, and I put in some HIDs. I gave the lens a good restoration, so it's all completely clear now. And I released the video, but I kind of ended it without really talking about it. And the reason for that is something went wrong. The HIDs looked great, the cutoff was fine, everything turned out really well, except for the thing that mattered the most, the light output. A big part of the reason I wanted to do this overhaul was because the original halogens sucked. Scattered light everywhere, very little light output, and it was just underwhelming. So you can imagine how I felt after spending that much time and effort on this little venture, only to find that the output on these new HIDs were crap. Probably worse than the original halogens, and genuinely unsafe. When I released that video, I hadn't actually done any complete low light driving, like on the freeway with no street lamps around, because when I finally got to experience that, I was nervous. You couldn't see anything. You could barely see the headlights were on. And yeah, didn't turn out the way I wanted. I figured I'd start with the most obvious thing, and that was to go from a 35 watt ballast to a 55 watt ballast. The reason I went with 35 watt in the first place was because these are mini projectors, and I didn't want to burn the bulbs, or the bowls, sorry. And 55 watts are kind of known for doing that, but at the end of the day, the light output matters the most to me. So then I put in a set of 55 watt HID ballast, and light output was the same. So that's when I started to panic. I was like, is this just a limitation of the car? Is it something to do with the stock wiring harness? So yeah, I was worried, but then I took the 55 watt ballast out of the Integra and threw them in here. These are like 5 years old or something, and it worked a charm. The output from even one of the 55 watt ballast HIDs was far better than two of the 35 watt HIDs that were in the car. So I went ahead and ordered a slightly more expensive set of 55 watt HID ballasts, and that is what we're going to be installing today. So yeah, what a learning experience this whole thing has been.
Oh, look at that. I love it. I like that subtle, almost stock look, because I didn't black out the housings. It's just more a if you know type situation with the projector lens. But yeah, I think it looks cool. Love the subtle blue, and of course as you get closer and in daytime you can see that honeycomb a lot better. And I don't know how obvious it is on camera, but yeah, these are so much brighter than the stock incandescent bulbs that were in there. So these are the Parkers. They're your standard BA9 size, but the cheap ones off eBay do not work because the polarity on the wiring harness of the Galant is actually reversed. So you need to actually get a set of Parkers that do not care about that. And I found some slim ones off Amazon for like 13 bucks, and they work a charm. All right, let's get to the main event. The headlights. See how they look. Whoa, look at that. I'm so happy with that, guys. So much brighter than the previous set of HIDs that were in here. So So this is what 55 watt looks like. Now I've kept the bulbs the exact same, but the attentive viewers will notice that it's a lot whiter than it previously was, and the previous color was more bluish, and that's because when you go from a 35 watt to a 55 watt ballast, you're actually stepping down in terms of color temperature. So this went from, these bulbs have now gone from 6000K, which is that light bluish color, down to 5000K, which is much more of a true white, and to be honest, much more to my liking. And of course they match the Parkers really nicely. Oh, that looks so good. And look at that cutoff. So crisp, so lovely. Finally, the Galant can see. It's so pretty, man. And I just thought I'd show you guys, the fog light actually lights up with the indicator depending on which one's on. You'll notice it's just that one. So I thought that was a cool little quirk you guys should see. All right, now for our high beams. I decided I wanted to keep the halogens wired in. On camera you can't really see them, but you can in person. They're very yellow, and they're obviously corresponding to this projector over here instead of this one, which is also high beaming at the moment because it's a bi-xenon. Yeah, so I wanted to keep that because it actually does add a significant amount of light to the output. That being said, you also could just run the HID alone, because when you hit the high beam, the shield flips open and allows all of the light to go through, which is why you can no longer see a cutoff.
Apologies for the horrible quality of that comparison video, but as you can see, the 55 watt HID ballasts are significantly better in terms of light output when compared to the 35 watt HID ballasts. And I can finally mark this project as complete. I'm happy with how it looks on the car, I'm happy with the light output, and overall I'm happy with the entire thing. It just took way longer than expected, as per usual. There were so many little mistakes and hiccups along the way that I had to go back in and redo and fix up, so a lot of time was consumed, and I didn't include all of that stuff across the two videos. So if you really are interested in asking some specific questions, just do so in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed watching the Galant finally getting a bit more love. Thanks for all the support. I will catch you on the next one.